happened to all these people at university. So, from that perspective,
Not just this, if you're able to think about it as the whole system, that allows you to communicate better with everybody. So as you're going along, I highly recommend dabbling in different areas and just building some of those base skills so that you can communicate with them and have a better knowledge and base to say, actually, hey, I can help you with that, or I can jump in and do this for you, or things like that, because it is a team. So if you can take like little like projects in my pocket.
So all these are now the higher ends.
But thank you for sending people up.
Yeah.
Well, you still won't be able to move each finger.
How do you guys, when you kind of put the skin on there, how do you cover up?
what you had to go through to become an Imagineer. What steps did you take to get into this, to learn?
My career was completely different. I came from the special effects industry. I used to work on a couple of films doing creature effects. And
that's cool.
A friend of mine got a job at Disneyland, and he same position, doing the same kind of stuff. And a position opened up at Imagineering, and I came in as a temporary employee working in the service development department, doing fiberglass molds, silicone molds, making parts, just doing whatever I used to do, and then that just parlayed into a permanent position.
That's so cool.
And I've been there for 17 years.
Wow. So, like, what movies specifically did you work on?
Well, the first movie I worked on was it's been quite a while. Oh my gosh. Joel Cohen, black and white film. I worked on Jeepers Creepers.
Okay.
First and second one. And it'll come to me in a minute.
So my team over here,
I work in some low budget films, a lot of commercial work, a lot of Planet Apes.
Oh, cool.
What do you call it? Cosplay-ish?
Oh, yeah.
Did 40th anniversary. Actually, we did the 40th anniversary box set edition. I'm on the cover of that.
Yeah,
but it's just that learning all of those things, and actually, I worked at other shops, but working at that studio gave me more confidence and skills to actually go to Disney when they needed help, and I just was able to work my way into that, and they just kept me on, and I just kept my head down and just keep working and keep learning, and now I'm doing a lot of skills. I'm doing actual designs and 3D modeling, so it just parlayed into other things.
Yeah.
It's different. I went to school for psychology.
Wow, that's different.
Yeah, so I totally different career path. And the people that have gone through, what do you call that?
he does work, but he's not powered up.
College program, internship. I just fell into it. So, anything to get out. So this is kind of, starting with the college program is a really good way to get your foot in the door.
That's pretty good size.
And then from there, going into the intern. This will be becoming an intern.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and I brought a keychain for you from my robotics. I designed those.
You designed it to 3D printed it?
Yeah.
Right on. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
This guy's like 25. I'm relatively starting up.
Yeah.
Sonny does the skins and stuff. Catherine does all the heads for the animatronics.
Oh.
She designs all of it. Yeah.
That's
So the alpha head, that's first right there.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to her once it kind of clears up a little bit.
She's special. She's good. And he does all the work, like with what we call figure finishing. He does all the finishing work and all that stuff on it too.
Yeah, this is my. I really want to do like the mechanical part of this. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
What Sunny's or not Sunny.
So like you help with like
Catherine's doing. Yeah, I want to do like that part of the. Yeah, and from up there yesterday, I don't know if you were here yesterday. I didn't see you, but from up there, I knew who this was right away.
Oh, did you really? That's good. Good job.
Because of the foot movement.
Yeah.
And I know how he turns around on the stage.
Yeah. That's cool. So you are doing, yeah. It's definitely Hondo for sure, right? Where are you coming in from?
Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Okay, way up there.
Yeah.
The Flames.
And so I design and engineer the substructure, so all the mechanisms, and then I bridged into analyzing and designing the skins too. So yeah, I design all this. So it's combining that creativity plus the technical elements of engineering. And it's really a nice blend between the two. But I got an internship out of college, and that's how I got my foot in the door, and I've been with the person. So there's some great opportunities if you go to Disney Careers at animatronic. There's all postings, and you can take a look and see anything that's interesting to you. And at that time, apply, just apply.
So weird, but that's not where a future.
It varies, it varies on what you're interested in, what department, how much work there is. So again, what I would recommend is just apply. So,
what else do they look for?
What do they look for? Again, it depends on your job that you're applying for, but I think I think the technical skills for sure. So as you're going through school, making sure that you're developing, different like CAD modeling, FEA. I don't know. You'll get into it probably in college. It's finite element analysis. So there are technical skills that are required. But then there's also that element of showing the project work that you've done and the different roles. So have you shown leadership? Have you run a project? How do you work with other disciplines? How do you problem solve? So I think the things is like, tell us about a problem that you've had to overcome and how you solve it. So think about as you're doing things, keep track of some of like, did your robot fail and you had to completely redo it in a day on the right base? Yeah, but I think just as you continue to keep developing that, keep doing projects that you love.
I mean, I did CAD for fun. I just CAD random.
Going and like searching out those things and developing yourself. But yeah, I think it sounds like you're already doing it. I just encourage you to keep going and again, through college you'll develop those technical skills for sure. But I encourage people to keep doing those passion projects as well, because you never know where that's going to lead you down a career path. And because it's part of you. It's you want to do something that you enjoy. So,
do you have any passion projects?
I don't know.
Sounds like CAD. You like? Do you SolidWorks?
I use
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, even that, and then once you get into college, I recommend getting into SolidWorks too.
Yeah.
Getting some of those different softwares under your belt.
I'm gonna try to learn it.
Yeah. I think that's great.
I have like a lot of like Adobe stuff down.
Yep.
Like a lot of art programs that I kind of use. I don't think I'll do like an art-based career, but I think Imagineering is like a good Yeah. It really does make me
Doing mechanics.
I think that will help you get through. So that's what I would recommend. But it will pay off. But it is hard.
We agreed recently. Spring break.
Oh, yeah.
To Florida.
Oh, you did? Awesome. What was your favorite part?
The lines were so long. I didn't have any like the fast passes or anything. it was a little scary, but it was worth the trip.
Good. I'm glad. Well, we're still pushing. There's so many new things coming down the line, and again, it's that combination of art and engineering. So we have to keep pushing forward. You know, so it's like we're producing already better things than this. So yeah, what's up?
Designing this.
Yeah, so depending on the complexity and the creative ask, I would say, like something simple, maybe like Rocket. I think that's a couple months. Like Worker, a couple years, because we had to do development work. We had to test that we can actually do it. So there's a little bit of R&D in there. And then once you have a large attraction, you have to build the whole thing. So it's a construction site. And then you have to install everything. So that takes years. It's a pretty big undertaking. And then we also do the resorts. So parks, resorts, and cruise ships. We build cruise ships. So they're huge ships. So again,
Yeah, I've seen just pictures and video.
yeah. In terms of the mechanism and stuff like that, so we have to design for maintenance and stuff like that. So we try to make sure that you can like remove a sub-assembly or something like that. But everything, think about how tight this is. Everything has to be integrated and working together. So you really have to think through this range of motion. So like you have to like move it, make sure it clears. It's all interacting together. So
I guess we're kind of like that too.
yeah, I was gonna say.
We're like we both do mechanical stuff on our team.
Yeah.
We've been working on like separate parts.
Okay.
And work together.
But then you have to like
Yeah,
work
that my
together.
team's like that too.
Yeah. Well, for example, I design the heads, but somebody else might be designing the bodies, and so then I have to integrate with them.
Yeah.
So it varies on who does what, who has those different skills, who's available. The silicone composite. So we actually work on designing that, and it's proprietary for Disney. So yeah, it's
really amazing.
it's fun. I mean, you guys can feel it if you want to. Yeah.
What steps did you go through to like get into Imagineering? What did it take for you to do it?
To do this?
Yeah, for you to get into the and work for Disney doing that.
Yeah, so I was an intern.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I got in from an internship. But then I just slowly, my first project was Jack Sparrow.
That's cool.
And just working on I worked on his head. That's why I came in as an intern. But then I built other animatronics, so I helped with Elsa's like arms, things like that. I designed, the T-1000, the Hondo, and the Kylo Ren. So what I was interested in it was the animatronics, and so I just dove in. I got to know the systems, studied the past, how to make it better. But then I saw a gap of like, I want to keep pushing these heads. I want to keep. I think we could do more. And so I volunteered. Again, I advocated for myself. So I think that's a key thing in your path in your career is advocate for yourself and what you want, because people will help you get there. And so that was one of the things that I was like, give me a shot. I can make this better. And so I kind of took the reins and went for it. So again, I just kind of dove in.
All right.
Yeah.
That's nice to hear.
I know. That's very.
And I wanted to bring you a keychain from my robotics team.
Thank you so much.
I designed those.
You 3D printed them?
Yeah, I did the 3D printing too.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah, we use a lot of it, so some of those skills definitely pay forward.
Yeah.
Keep it up, honestly. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Press the button. There you go. All right, so it's blinking green. That means it was safe to dispatch. You'll notice our coasters split up into different zones. You'll see that by how the light changes as the vehicle goes through. Right now, that light is red. That's because it senses a vehicle is there, and that's how we know that the vehicle's there. Green means that it's clear. For operators working in our towers, they have something called a track map, which is what you see on the HMI there. So you'll notice the yellow dot will move depending on where the vehicle is. And that's how our operators know what zone a vehicle is currently stuck in. Now, let's say that something is wrong with this train and the audio isn't working on it or something like that. We can do a remove where you see that's blinking green. It'll go onto this transfer table. The transfer table will move back and it'll put it into the maintenance bay where our maintenance crew can work on it. And let's say they fix whatever the issue is. If one of you wants to turn the switch to add to the left, it'll add it back onto the track.
That's so cool.
Yep, the system sees it's clear to go. Dispatch is green. Go ahead and press the dispatch button. All right, let's say guests are being guests, and one of them drops their ears onto the track, and the operator sees that on the CCTV. Slap that emergency stop button. There you go. And this stops all motion on the ride. It doesn't power it down. That's what power disconnect does. And we don't want to do power disconnect unless it's like the last thing we have to do. No, don't press that button.
Everything would just fall down?
If you stop it mid-ride.
Yes, so I'll get to that. So, okay, you press the e-stop button, everything, motion is stopped. Let's say the operator goes on the track and they pick up the ears or whatever. Everything is clear now. Pull up that emergency stop button. Okay, so the emergency stop reset is blinking. That means you can reset that emergency stop. If you press it, operation continues as normal on the coaster. Now, you asked what would happen if you press the e-stop anywhere else in the ride, right?
Yeah.
So the reason it was able to reset is because the coaster was able to sense where the vehicle was. That section was still red. All right. Press that, not right now, but press the e-stop once it goes over the hill. There you go. So because it went through several zones, the system is not 100% sure exactly where the vehicle is, because even though it triggered the sensor, the vehicle could have pressed it to a valley. That's what we call it when it's under the bottom. It's called a valley. Could have valleyed in any place.
And it doesn't have a stop. Able to stop, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It doesn't have a
Yeah, we have a servo there. That servo doesn't work because this thing is like 12 plus years old, so we need to replace that servo. So we pull this up. You'll notice the emergency stop reset isn't blinking. That means that you can't reset this. No matter what you do, we're going to have the power down. So in order to do that, you press the power down button. So you'll notice when I press this, everything shuts down. Then reset the power disconnect, reset emergency stop. And now we have to do something called opening sequence. And this is what our operators have to do every time they open the park. So basically what this is asking is if the vehicle's in a location that matches this track map. Technically it is, because this thing hasn't triggered any sensors, so it doesn't know where it is. So technically this is yes. Then we do start motion, reset this emergency stop, and now we have to go through each zone individually. So every time it blinks, just press the button. That means it's running, so you'll notice this motor is running. Press the next one, you'll notice that this motor is not running, and then it resets the vehicle to be in a location where we can see it. And you'll see that represented here. So these last two always take a long time because it's running the lift motor. So basically what that one does is if there was a vehicle stuck on the hill, it would let the vehicle go all the way to the top. And then that last button, as soon as it goes through, it would let the vehicle go all the way to the bottom so it can run its course and get reset back to the main position. So press that button. So this is called opening sequence. This is what our operators have to do every time before we open the park, or every time we have to do a power disconnect.
And this is the same for every ride.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And this is why every time we have a downtime, it takes about like an hour, like for example in because like this is just a small scale version. Like in a large scale version, they have to physically go to those zones to make sure the